Alright, y'all. Called back to work. Though I didn't necessarily completely agree with it. I know I'm needed. And so, here's the message, okay? It's not necessarily a message you want, but it's something that you need to hear. Okay? There's some things that do need to be revealed, like some secrets. Some people that do need some answers that they've been searching for years, 2 years, 3 years, months, 6 months, 3 months, over and over, 3 months, period, something like that. Okay, if that makes sense to you, then this reading is for you. Okay, I'm called to work when I am called to work, and I don't care. I just do this work because I'm not the one who deserves the credit for it, but the person I work for does deserve the credit for it and deserves their just due for it. And Jesus is real. He didn't put me back in my body enough times for me to vouch for it. So, and I'm sure I'm going to give you some information that you're going to be like, what the fuck, how the fuck did I get all this shit from? But that's why I was chosen. And how do I know so much? That's why I was chosen. And I'm not here to do your fucking boot camp. I'm just here to give the message. That's it. And that's all. And be thankful and fucking grateful for that. Because I don't fucking have to. But I'm doing it for free. Because I'm called to do it. You're welcome. So, first of all, rugby mother, David. I've been following your story for a little bit. And I did try to mention something 6 months ago, but now it's too late, and I'm sorry. And like I said, it's not something you want to hear, but it's something you're going to want to know. His spirit ain't strong enough anymore. That means he's already crossed over. And though you had people searching in the waters for him for the past couple of weeks, that's where they're going to find him within the next 2 to 3 months. And that's my word. You know, a lot of times I try to give people the message, but not everybody listens or gets my message. But at least I did give the message when I was called to, when I was pressing and needed. And some people think I'm crazy, yes, and doubt my gifts, and doubt who I work for. But I know who I work for. And that's all that matters to me and him. And the work that I do, that I came and said I was going to do. Sorry, Mama, but David said you will find his body within 2 to 3 months. And it is going to be where you suspect it to be, in the water. Where his last video that you could find of him was. But at least then, at least you can have some rest. Because then you're going to know. But I'm already telling you, it's Me trying to fill him out, he ain't on the side anymore. He's already crossed that veil. The last time I did feel him, about 3-4 months ago, it was already feeling very bad and very close to time, is why I gave the message. And sometimes it sucks because it's at an emergency state when I have to give the message. It already feels like, fuck. But I did my job. I tried. And people have their own lives and things that they have to do. But you will find him. It's exactly where you think it is. In the water. Within 2 to 3 months, you're going to find him. The police is out there searching the waters. The investigators you hired, you're going to find him within 2 to 3 months. But not the way you hoped it to be. But you already suspect that because you can feel it. When somebody's soul already has left this plane, some people can really feel it, and that is true. Like some people that really hear the voice of God, they really do. Like some people that really see God, they really do. What you felt was real. When you felt that he left and took that plane, he did. But your efforts did not go in vain. You will find him. And then you will get rest within 2 to 3 months. I hope this message reaches you. Period. And you hear me on it. Okay, so I already know this is messages that people need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. Okay? So regarding your pride and joy, regarding your firstborn, you feel they were betrayed and you're absolutely right. The person that they were betrayed by, you are absolutely right. They know more information that they're giving up. And you're absolutely right. If you thought it was their best friend that invited them there in the first place, you are absolutely fucking right. Like I said, you're a little too late. It's already happened. I'm not going to pick them up for you until you fill me on this. Like I already said. I can give the message, but until somebody actually really hears me out. Okay. Your pride. Your shining star. The gifted child you had. You know it. You felt it. You felt it when their soul left this plane, and you're absolutely right. Though at the time, when you felt it happening or soon to happen, you had a lot of things going on. What should you do? There's a lot of decisions to make. There's a lot of things going on, more than one thing. A lot of things pulling you this way, a lot of things pulling you that way, making you indecisive. This already happened. And you feel it in your bones. You know the truth about it. When you thought he ended up in the waters, he did. It was not something that was going to go your way. That you would have hoped it would have. Something that had to be paid forward. Okay? Mistakes in love. Mistakes in offerings. Mistakes in the way you gave your love. And it means, in a way, of knowledge. You kind of knew this. I don't know if you thought before that this child was just too gifted. That's why you felt like, I don't think they're going to live a long life like I wish and hope they would. But you already had these notions or these feelings to why you had to put this child up on so much of a pedestal. Because when it's their time and they earned it, that was going to be their time. Whether the whole world seen it or not. Which they didn't do them justice on, okay? They didn't do it justice on, okay? This is a message that you already got, okay? I'm not the only gifted person you went to and seen this from as well. I know you believe in spirit as well. And things in the afterworld are unknown to others that don't understand it. But with your faith in God, He's letting you know. Through your spirit guides, which is also people, not just spirit. Your child was betrayed and played by somebody very close to them. Somebody they should have not let enter their world. Somebody that they should have questioned. Somebody that they should have blocked off, but they didn't. Somebody that offered them things that were too good to be true. Which you yourself knew, but you fed into your child's dream so much that you didn't speak up on it to stop them. Because I understand that some parents want their child to have more than what they had. And you felt you would have been cruel if you didn't let them try to do it. And if you weren't at least supportive and celebrating the cause. But at the same time, you knew where their body was. The moment you saw it. The moment you saw that clip. The moment you got that download. The moment you got that image in your mind. You knew where their body is. I'm going to tell the truth about it. And somebody with emotions who does care, you exactly know the way they left out. Some people might see me as the Queen of Swords type of person, but honestly, I don't mean for my tongue to be spiteful. I just mean to give the message clear cut across like it should be given. And sometimes that's a little too harsh for people to understand. That don't understand the paranormal or spiritual world. But it does exist. And you're not unknown to this type of world. You kind of get it. Though he died prematurely, you technically know where he is. He's in a safe place now. He's not in a place that you wish he was, but he is in a safe place now. And I think that's the biggest thing that matters to you, is to actually get to the bottom of it and know where your child is. That you actually spent the time and effort to look. But you did. Like humans, we have everyday things. And you did try, it's not like you didn't. But you can't feed into everything that the media gives you. And I understand that. Like I said, if you had suspicions of the last clip or video he was in, that's exactly where he is. That's exactly where he is. Exactly where he is. And I'm telling you now, so you know, as confirmation, not just from my channelings, from tools as well. To tell you as confirmation, second confirmation, besides my own natural gifts, that your suspicions are right. The last clip, the last video you've seen is exactly close to where his body is and where you're going to find him. And it's going to be within 2 to 3 months from now. It's not the message you wanted, but at least now you know. And at least now you found him. And you can have some rest. And he can too. And he can too. This child has suffered a lot of things a lot of children should not. Being locked in a storage container. Being beat. Being abused. Things that a lot of people can't fathom that child would go through. But sometimes does. Because sometimes it's their halo. Sometimes it's their light that irritates people's demons. And exactly the friend that you thought had did this to David did. I'm feeling that it's going to be at least 3 years till they actually get caught for the bullshit that they've done. But at least now your soul and David's soul can have rest. Within 2 to 3 months, when you find him, it's exactly where you thought he would be. You weren't wrong. They're going to look and they will find him. They may have to look again and again, but they will find him. And you don't like to hear that part again and again, but they will find him exactly where you think he last was and put him to work. Because that's the way your soul and his soul will get some rest. And you know this part. This is the only reason sometimes why I get on this space, on this plane, on this platform, is so that people get the closure that they need. Okay? You're going to have to stay strong. You're going to have to believe in what you believe in. Okay? Believe it like you've seen it. You're going to find him wrapped up. Okay? You're going to find his body still bound to things that left him at the bottom of that. Okay? I'm getting Spain. The things that left him to himself. Okay? This is where you're going to find him. Bingo. Okay? This is where you're going to find your child. This is where you're going to find your baby. Okay? Exactly where you thought he was. Exactly where you thought he would have fell off. Very close to it. Very, very close to it. I wanted to come earlier with this message than this. And that was my intentions. And that was my intentions. Okay, people know when your time is up, your time is up. And you understand that part too. There's a window of opportunity. And that window has passed. Okay, exactly where you thought he would be is very close to where he is, within less than 35, 45 degrees of it. I hope that means something to you. There's going to be a lot of secrets, okay? There's a lot of secrets, okay? There's a lot of things you're going to find out about him that you wish you never knew. Did he steal money from people? Maybe he did. Maybe that's the reason why they're after him. Because it's over money. Okay? Because he wanted to die looking good. He wanted to look good. He wanted to be up on a pedestal, just like the way you would put him. Like I said, a lot of people see me as the Queen of Swords. Some people don't like me. Some people love me. Just depends. But I'm gonna say it. At least I said it. And I think that deserves more respect and credit than anything else. Because at least I said it. Might not always be something that people want to hear, but it's something that they need to listen to or hear or heed. And I don't mean to come across mean or intentionally mean, but this is going to be your truth. Father, do I mean to come off intentionally mean or cruel? Message is the message. Where you're going to find him is where you're going to find him. Within 1 to 2 of the 3 parts. Take that however that resonates with you. There's going to be a half and a 2/3 of where you find him. And that's where you're going to feel most burdened. Because that's where you're going to find him. But I always feel like it's always more important to know. It's always more important to know than to not know. It's better to be in the knowing and prepared for it than not to be. Okay? And if you thought it was over, if someone played with some magic over his stability, they did. Okay? But everything has to be paid for within due time. Okay? He had his life taken from him. This is true. He had a bright future. It was taken prematurely. This is true. He had a bright future. It was taken prematurely. This is true. It's over money, over greed, and it's heartbreaking, okay? And that's a sad message that you don't want to hear, but it's true. It's over money, and a part of him taking his own life and leaving and being an adult. It's over heartbreak. And this is some truth you don't want to hear, but it's true. Okay, like I already said, this is some truth you may not want to hear, but it's true. Somebody offered him something that was a little too good to be true. You and David both questioned it. You and him both thought about it for nights in a row before you agreed for him and himself to go. Okay? You both had questioned. Would he come back from an island like this or something like that? Or a place that's exotic like that or something like that? You both questioned his safety. And you're right to do so. Sometimes your innermost nudges and intuition is what you really need to heed and listen to. But you both questioned this offering. You both questioned going. And you both questioned the money that you had to give him to stay there and be there. And this is another thing that has kept you up all night. Okay, sometimes I may say things that are a little too real, but at least you will understand when I say it. Because sometimes people need more facts than what I'm just telling them. That's a little too much information for them to understand that my message is real. You questioned this money that you had to give him. For him just to stay there. You're absolutely correct. When does he ask you for money? Hardly ever. But for him to have to ask you for money is strange. He's always been a little too independent and trying to get things on his own for him to even ask $1 or 50 cents out of you. 50 cents? Popsicle? Something like that? For him to ask some money out of you, but you gave it to him and you questioned it. Something wasn't right at that point and it clicked in your mind. And you're absolutely right. He don't really ask you for money. Why would he start now? That was that point where he needed you to get more involved into where he was and finding him. And to why he questioned it and had sleepless nights right after. About him being in a place that is a little too foreign to you and him both. Just hate it. You're gonna find him 2 to 3 months. Exactly where you thought he was. Not the way you want to find him. This is something over conflicts. Over a friend that found out to be an ex-boyfriend of his. That quote unquote was a friend. Okay? That was a lover that granted him all the world or something but took it away from him. As soon as they saw his potential or seen that he didn't mind to be that person. Because he's the type of guy that stands up for his word. Like, you don't have to throw him very far to see where he's going to get. If David is the type of guy that says if he said something, then he meant it. Type of guy. Okay? He's not a type of guy that makes false promises. This is a type of guy that says that when I say something, you can take it to the bank with you. I meant it. A lot of people found him attractive. Okay? A lot of people wanted him in a contract with them or a group or an effort of some sort with him. A lot of people wanted to sign him. A lot of people wanted him in a contract with him. But he said no to a lot of people and sometimes the wrong people, and that's where he felt he was foolish. Because he didn't say he didn't say yes to the right people. Okay? Something has balanced out here. Okay. It's a lot of things that have to do over money. Okay, it has to do a lot with money. It's more than you want to know. Okay, it's more about a lot of options. Maybe he took a lot of loans or a lot of things from other people that quoted him something good of a wish fulfillment. And he sat nice and pretty for a long time. But he sooner or later was going to have to pay for it. And they're going to ask for it back. And that's when this moment happens, when they find a conflict, when they see a conflict and interest, and when sometimes when it's about money, people end up dead for it, and this is what happened. Fights, conflicts, death, over money, okay, over love, over money, money and love, over contracts, something that's been breached. And this is a message you may not want to hear, okay? But somebody was paying way too much close attention to him than needed be. And this is somebody that felt that what David took from them was to the grave. Was their family fortune, was their finances, and they felt it was justifiable to leave him 6 feet under. Though they may act like they're sad and apologetic about it, and they're gonna come across and may even come to the funeral within 2 to 3 months, 4 months about it. This person knew exactly what they did because they knew what they invested in it. It's worth something so much as worth as their house or a house or mansion would be. That's how much they invested into David. And they felt that because they weren't going to get it back, somebody had to pay it back. And this is why David ended where he ended. The very last person who was holding the camera to watching him is exactly the person who did it. You don't question that, and I don't either. And the cards and God doesn't question that either. And if this is a message you wanted to hear that you didn't really want to hear, this is your message. This is your message. You're going to find him exactly where you thought he was. And the last person he was with is exactly who you thought it would be. Though they won't get caught for it within an extra 3 years, 2-3 years later, to where you find him 2-3 months later, 4 months, 2-3-4 months later. But I'm getting more 2-3 months is where you're gonna find him exactly within 45 degrees of where you thought he would be. This is your David. He was meant for more than just this, technically, yes. But he got involved with way too many people that had a price over his head and his name. And when he questioned you and asked you for some money and you felt it was wrong, because he's not the type of child that would ask you for any type of money ever, not even popsicle money, which is what I'm getting. That's what happened. This is your message. This is your David. I'll be back when I'm back. Sometimes I give messages I'm not too proud or want to give, but this is the message. Because somebody needs to hear it.